Today's video is going to be about some airsoft anecdotes, some crazy stories, funny stories, whatever, that have happened to me over the years. I hope you enjoy them and you get a kick out of them. Today is story, or maybe you could say that it's just a point of view or whatever. But I have a Polar Star 30 caliber, and it's incredible. I'll show a picture here and then I'll continue the story. I took this to a local open play, and this is before the location I go to limited, not having full auto at all. So the 30 caliber I had set up, being a Polar Star, I could set it up to whatever rate of fire I want, and the FPS was adjusted by the PSI you're putting in with the tank. So I set it up to a certain way. And what that was is 340 with 2.5s, okay, and 11 rounds per second rate of fire. I figure the real steel 1917 version was 660 rounds per minute, which is basically 11 rounds per second. So I wanted to stay as close to that. Plus, it gave it a really good pop sound when it was at 11 rounds per second. And being at 340 with 2.5s, I could get anywhere, and I wasn't hurting anybody. And a matter of fact, like in a couple of the games where we had a lot of younger players, I dialed it back to 300 FPS with 2.5s. And the guys would I'd have an empty box mag, they'd pour some 2.5s in there, and I would shoot through their chrono, and it's like, yeah, you're good. Then I would dump the 2.5s out and put my 3.0s in there. So I was running it with 3.0s because it just shot a lot better with it. So here I am shooting this the one day and I actually had it to 340. Was right on the nose, 339, 340, 340, 340, 339, and 11 rounds per second. And I remember taking it to the game, and this one guy, and the rate of fire limit was 25. And this one guy, he was, burp, 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 and everybody was complaining. So they stopped him from shooting full auto. And I'm shooting full auto every once in a while, but I'm doing bursts. I go, brr, brr, brr. I'm just doing like a 5-6 BB shot. And when I did do a burst, it was never at anybody. It was just for scare factor. Because a lot of times I would be, with new players, I would get them to use the gun at people, so it was noob shooting the thing, and I'm just sitting there with the line hooked up to it so they could shoot it. Well, the ref come over and he said, hey, I got somebody complaining that you're shooting too hot. Okay. And he said, I got the chrono right here. I said, well, I got 3.0s in here. You got to set it to 3s, and you'll be able to see what it is. So he set it to 3.0s, and we put it through there. And I'm like, it's not shooting that hot. He does the chrono, and it's shooting about 309. And he says, wow, that's low. I said, yeah, but look at the joules. I said, the joules is only 1.34. I said, you have a 400 with 2.5 limit, or 1.49 joules, or 186 joules. I'm sorry, my bad. I said, so I'm only at 134 joules. And I said, here, let's do rate of fire. I do rate of fire, 11.1, 11.2, 11.1. I did like 3 bursts. He said, I don't know. He said, the one guy says you're shooting too hot. I'm like, I'm not. But that started the thing where the owner had a lot of complaints about people shooting full auto. I was not the guy that they were complaining about. They were complaining about another guy that had an M249 there that was just blazing away. He was the guy that they were complaining about, not me. I found out later, the owner said to me, yeah, it wasn't you that they were complaining about. I don't know why he chronoed you. It was the other guy. So we went back to the same location the next Saturday, Sunday. I think it was Saturday. And we got there, and he said, new rule said, he came out, the owner, and he said, this is going to get people upset, but he said, no full auto. No one can shoot full auto. No one can, like, be shooting full auto. No exceptions, except this guy. And he points at me. And I'm like, he said, his gun's shooting so low, and he's very responsible. He's the only guy I would let shoot full auto. And he said, did you bring the 30 today? I said, no, I brought my sniper rifle. He said, you want to bring it? You can bring it. And I'm like, I would feel bad being the only one shooting full auto with that. But that was so funny. And he uses that every time I go there. He says to everybody, okay, just so everybody knows, there's no full auto. Nobody can shoot full auto except this guy right here. And he's pointing at me. And I'm like, don't do that. But I thought it was funny that, you know, I was shooting so low, and I shoot responsibly with it, and I let other players shoot my 30 caliber, especially new players. There was a one kid, he had a real crappy gun, and he's trying to shoot it, and I set him right next to me with the gun and let him blaze away with my 30 caliber, and I'm like, I don't care. He was having a blast. That's the next level. That's the next group that's going to be playing airsoft. If he gets enthused about it, he's going to keep playing. He's going to buy more gear, going to buy more BBs, buy this, come out to more open plays. He's going to spend more money. It's a good thing for everybody all the way around. So I hope you guys like this story. It's always amusing. I always end up smiling when the owner points me out to these guys that he can fire full auto. Have I done it since then? No, but it's always an option if I want to bring a full auto 30 caliber to the game up at that location. I hope you enjoyed this story, and as always, you guys have a good day.